Yeah, kid. Make sure everything copacetic, you know what I mean? Yeah, kid. That's what I be doing behind the scenes when y'all can't see me. Let's go. Yes. Yes, 2 times. Y'all know the vibes though. She like, ooh la la. They go, ooh la la. She like, ooh la la. They go, ooh la la. On a Friday, best day, blessed day. Ooh la la. Looking for M's like I lost a friend. Hop up out the bed like, where's the bread? What it do, people? You're now tuned in. Popovich TV. We live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic, that feeling. Back up in here one more again. So if it's your first time, then the question is, where you been? Over here on my side, we deal with sports, hip-hop, entertainment, interviews sometimes when people don't be acting flaky, Popovisms 101, and of course, motivation. So before you exit and diddy to the left, take that, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, smash that notification bell. For everybody else, you know how I do, and you know how I plainly start my show. Tony, there was no other way. We in the end game now. We is in the end game, people. It's Friday. Shout out to everybody tuning in. Famous. Let's make Harlem great again. My nigga Jigga. What's the word? Shout out to everybody tuning in on Instagram, TikTok, and of course, YouTube, where we started this thing at. Happy blessed day. Friday for most is the best day because you just got paid. You feeling a little good. You can pay your bills. You made it through another week, and all praises due to the Most High, because like Future said, it's an evil world out there. It's an evil world out there. So if you made it through the week and you still pushing and moving and grooving, then all praises due to the Most High. But let's talk about people that make it. They get to be in the top 20, top 15, top 10, top 5. Like, you're the best around, and nothing's ever gonna keep, like, you the best around, and you make it to be, you know what I mean, one of those ones, and you're not really one of them, but really you one of them. And we're talking about Von Miller. We're talking about athletes and entertainers, like Cam once said, you know, sex, drugs, and entertainment. Really, like literally, sex, drugs, and entertainment. And here you got Von Miller, not one, not done, 2 times like LeBron James, 2-time Super Bowl, you know what I mean, champion. And it's very hard to achieve that. So salute to him for getting to the top of the mountain, not once, but twice. 2 different franchises, right? Broncos and then the Rams. You know what I mean? Sean McVay and them boys. Over Cincinnati, and we had the Rams, but we had the Rams money line. We had Cincinnati on that +4 big bucks. Unfortunately, as I like to say on the channel, you never know when you're going to be spinning in the clip, and you're going to be in the spin cycle of the news cycle. And like Hov said, what we talking about? We talking about fiction, or we talking about facts? Talking about fiction, hold up, pardon my back. The conversation's changed, let's yap about that. Because you ain't doing rap no more, you run the map. And you ain't skipping leg day to run your mouth. Unfortunately, Von Miller and his fiance, and I don't know her name, I didn't even go digging and looking into it. When you look at the pictures and you're like, damn, this story seems a little familiar. Oh, that's right. We heard this story some time ago about the domestic violence and him, you know what I mean, putting hands on her, maybe allegedly, kind of, sort of. And we don't know if these things are true or not. But what we do know is, allegedly, this is what has been reported, you know, going back a few years. And now the thing is, you know, you just coming back from injury. You was out of the NFL for a little minute. And we know that this is the challenge. This is the challenge leagues. Like, what have you done for me lately? And your best, you know, ability is availability and what you bring into the team. And you ain't been on the team. You've been letting, you know, Buffalo, you know, blow in the wind, if you will. You back this season and this is what, you know, befalls you. And you got to say, damn, the Zion Williamsons, you know what I mean? The different various athletes that you hear, and you see the basketball wives, I mean, this shit is fluid. Like, this shit is like Stephen A. said, the list is fluid, and any given day when you log on, you can see some football, basketball wives, some, you know, Brittany Renners or whoever, you know, in the loop because of a P.J. Washington. Because you fucked up. And like Pun said, you know you done fucked up, right? Because you done got some joint pregnant that you really didn't mean to get pregnant. And then allegedly she got the texts saying, you know, how he didn't want to have the babies by her or whatever. And, you know, he was supposed to have put his hands on her in another time. And now it comes out again. And unfortunately, we living in the, you know, obviously the Me Too era, the, you know, go back 30, you know, years, 10 years, 15 years on some LeBron. Now that's not 1, not 2, not 4, not 7. We can go back 15 years. We can go back 20 years. We can check the tape. We can go through the files and, oh, that's you. We got you. So this is the era of, you know, like, one, you're going to walk away and you're going to risk it all and come out in your own way with whatever penalties you incur or whatever, I would say, hit to your rep or to your, you know, to your brand, if you will. And a lot of these people, you know, these athletes, they got brands, they got deals, they got endorsements and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? They don't be wanting a brand to look bad. But how bad can it look with domestic violence on a pregnant woman, allegedly? You know what I mean? And we don't know if it's true, but an arrest warrant was issued. And, you know, now you go from being a resident of Queens to possibly being did it in done to being one of the artists from Queens, and you Noriega, and now you on the run eating, like NRE, Nori. Now you on the run eating, and I'm being funny, but I'm not. Now you on the run eating for a joint that, you know what I mean, you was just clapping, come to find out, you know what I mean, obviously y'all have kids together, and I'm not downplaying his relationships in no means, in no way. What I'm simply saying is, with all these videos, with all these cameras, and I'm gonna make you famous. You know what I mean? With all of these people, gotcha bitch, like niggas jumping out the closet just to catch you in a compromising position. Everything, as I say on this channel, although I be playing, but I'm really not. And it's all for sale. Like, everything is for sale. Nothing is sacred. Not even you eating ass. Let's keep it above. Not even you on your freakiest night. And I know that came out of left field, but not even that sacred. You know what I mean? What we talking about? We talking about this and that. Shout out to my nigga Bombs on the check-in on YouTube. And shout out to everybody checking in on YouTube, on Instagram, TikTok, Bingo, all that shit. You checking out Popovich TV. Of course, we appreciate you. But what we talking about is niggas selling ass and niggas fumbling the bag. Like, and the Migos said, turn the pandemic into a bagdemic. And what we seeing is, in this modern era, in this era of the Zions and, you know, the P.J. Washingtons, and there been people like this. It just ain't been under the scrutiny or put under the microscope as things are now with all these different various podcasters. You know what I'm saying? And niggas talk real greasy on these podcast records. But are you platinum a million times, like check the credits? That's a whole reference. Get on the podcast and start talking crazy, and that's a side note. We're talking about athletes like Von Miller, P.J. Washington, and various others working their ass off to get where they got to get to where they got to go. You know what I mean? Like, where they at? You made it to the NBA. You made it to the NFL. You made it to, you're a platinum recording artist. And if it's even that now, with the streams and all that shit. Only to get with an Instagram model, parentheses. Only to get with a Instagram influencer, parentheses. I mean, like, only to get with the come on baby, like some chick with a fat ass and a nice smile. You end up clapping the cheeks and shooting up the club, and now you on child support. Now you looking bad. You like 18 years? 18 years. She got one of your kids, got you for 18 years. And then you got chicks like Brittany Renner, like these athletes are dumb. Like just put a fork in them. Them niggas is done. In the New York Minute, as fast as you can say New York Minute, I got him skeeting and his toes curling, and I'm pregnant and I got the bag now. And I don't know if that's the case with Von Miller, because that's what we're talking about. We're just talking about when you work hard as a fuck to become part of an exclusive and elite fraternity, whether the average Joe or the average person look at it like that or not. That's really what it is. It's only 600 people, if that, in the NBA. There's only but so much people in the NFL. And like Jada said, you know what I mean? How much money I got? You think I signed a football deal? We getting money over here and we big fish. Only to just clap some cheeks to some ex-stripper, some fans only, the rope-a-dope and Ali, you know what I mean? Ali, Kumbaya, only to beat you in the later rounds and like, oh, we got one. And that's you, Von Miller. And they issuing all type of arrest warrants, and you got to turn yourself in all to prove that you ain't hit this woman. And you told Harpo to do what? You told Harpo to beat me, silly, and you sure is ugly. How the fuck you telling this nigga to whip me? I mean, like, you would miss it. This is my husband, Jada. And I'm being funny again, but I'm not. You got to throw a little, little jokey joke in there. And I got to talk about my life and how I see it. Martin Lawrence reference. How you fumble the bag and have not one, not two, like you getting these women pregnant that's displaying suspect character or characteristics for you to go the long haul with them, for you to get caught up. And then how many videos got to be made of people that made it, mama, I made it, only to see some, Jezebel spirit, if you will. And I'm sure, it's not just one side of it. These dudes is, you're not going unscathed. And you're not innocent. Von Miller, PJ Waller, you get what you get because you chose who you chose. You had to pick of the litter. How niggas say, like, you know what I mean? The creme de creme. You get the creme of the creme. You get the cream of the crop for being the best around. And nothing's ever gonna keep, like, you the best around. You MJ all day, fade away perfect. You LeBron James. You Steph Curry cooking with the pot. You Tracy McGrady. You Kobe, like, you a champion, and you worked your ass off to get to where you at, only to just throw it away on some buns. Bro, buns come dime a dozen. I know that's hard to hear. My eyes on some Phoebe Friend shit. My ears, and where the ladies at? But really, like most men that got money, that's why they have that stance on, it's not tricking if you got it. I got $1 billion. 3 baddies, like niggas said. I mean, having some threesome with some bitches still ain't amused. And that's a recent Meek Mill's reference off that Shaq and Kobe. Speaking of sports and athletes, sex, drugs, and entertainment. I got $1 billion, bitch. I'm rich. It's not nothing I can't buy. Oh, you 100,000? I want you and 10 of your friends, and we're gonna go Monday, Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and we gonna fuck all y'all. Like nigga said, Wild Rush down there, what was the movie, Colors? You know what I mean? Pac-Man, yo Pac-Man. From the DMX skit, and I'm being funny, but I'm not. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, if you rocking with the kid. And he like, yo, he was telling the young dude, Pac-Man, the story of the 2 bulls, and, it was a whole bunch of cows, and they wanted some Bunningtons. And he like, yo, let's just run down, and he like, yo, why run when we can calmly walk down and come along? We have a party to attend with some real mature women and some more of our friends. He held out the cab and he waited for y'all. Know how I do when I be playing. And we gonna fuck all of them because we gonna walk down calmly and pick the litter. We're gonna get the pickings of who we want. When you reach certain levels and you got money, because that's your money, son, you can just go online and scroll Instagram and choose who you want. Prove me wrong. Because it's all for sale. I don't say that condescending. I'm not trying to put the ladies down. I mean, I'm sure it's dudes slinging, you know what I mean? Whatever they slinging, maybe, possibly, but you don't really hear about it like that. That's not really sexy and cool. TLC. It's more like when the women do it, and you go and you look on Brooklyn, and shout outs to Brooklyn. Like, Brooklyn! You go look on the, what avenue was that shit on in Brooklyn? I seen that shit in the news. You just see the joints just walking by. Come on, baby, come on. Selling ass. Like, literally, you're selling ass. They should make this shit legal, right? This is what the you know, the voices and people that's in the backgrounds. They're like, yo, we need to make this shit legal so we can get some money off this shit. Because they're going to sell the box anyway. When times is hard, like, you know what I mean? Came in the game with nothing, you know what I mean? Crying and fussing. We ain't had nothing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to do what you got to do to survive and challenge. I dare you to not. I done seen people I love have to do stuff like, damn it, I know it's regrets. And Hov said you got to learn to live with regrets. But that's like the oldest profession. Are they going to legalize it? I don't know. Brothers got to stop fumbling the bag. When you work your ass off to get where you get, have fun and keep it moving. Especially if they displaying the signs like, you know what I mean, where this is going to be a bad, bad situation if you get them pregnant. Not once, not twice, like ex-porn stars and strippers, and I'm not knocking you. Like, it is a market and a place for all that. There's a time and there's a place for everything. Like, you know what I mean? Brothers, in certain situations, we can appreciate. We can appreciate, you know what I mean, certain venues and works and shit that the ladies provide. I'm just keeping it a buck. I'm being funny and I'm adding that on it, but really, it's men in certain places that can appreciate, that will, you know what I mean, like really appreciate some of the works that y'all doing. But in the moral fabric of society, that's looked down upon. That's frowned upon. And maybe that's why they never made it legal. But let's get to this other shit, though. You know what I mean? Speaking of ladies and where the ladies at. Let's talk about motherfucking Uncle Shay Shay. You know what I mean? Let's talk about two-time champion, another brother. Like I said, he made it to be the best around. Not only does his wrist bling bling, his shit bling blah. You know what I mean? Fucking John Elway and them boys, right? Like two-time champion, back to back on him. And that's when I first started watching football up in Elmira and all that. These are the early days. You know what I'm saying? Two-time Super Bowl champion. Got his own podcast now. Just left Fox Undisputed with Skip Bailiff. You know what I mean? And, you know, sometimes he pop up on First Take with, you know what I mean, with Stephen A. in the face of ESPN, whether you like it or not. He doing his numbers. And all you can do is either rock with it or not rock with it. But what you're going to have to do is respect the numbers. You can respect it in the mad energy way, or you can respect it like, nah, I really don't like this motherfucker. He's loud, Muppet face ass nigga. Know what I mean? But he putting that work in on the big neck work and in the back office on his own shit. Popping collars. Shout out to him for that. But anyway, he jumps on the First Take with Stephen A. And he got his own podcast. And these podcasts be talking real greasy on them R&B records. I'm platinum a million times. Check the credits. So he on there with one of my favorite wide receivers. O'Shea, I was about to say O'Shea Duke Jackson. Shout outs to O'Shea. O'Shea Cinco, you know what I mean? Hall of Fame jacket, if you remember. Was that a Monday Night Football game or a Sunday Night Football game after he, you know what I mean, scored the touchdown and shit. And then came out with the Hall of Fame jacket. And in my opinion, he is a Hall of Famer. Not a champion, but still, far as when you run the numbers, men lie, women lie, but the numbers don't lie. Anyway, they was talking about Megan Thee Stallion. Two dudes, you know what I mean? O'Shea is close to 50 now, right? 51, 52, you know what I mean? 52 on the deck, you know what I mean? And, you know, they just going back and forth on some men shit, podcast shit, talking women shit. Who could get it, you know what I mean? Lil' Kim or Foxy Brown. You know what I mean? The original Foxy Brown or, you know what I mean, Vanessa Williams. You know what I'm saying? Or some Vanessa, you know what I mean, from the Huxtables or Denise. Like, which way you going? You know what I mean? Amber Rose or, you know what I mean, like Jada Fire. Like, who you choosing? We see these type of surveys and little bullshit online all the time as far as, damn, shorty could get it. Who you were dumping, you know what I mean? And you shooting the club up or you're not sure. Whether they married, not married, you know what I mean? Nobody's off bars, right? So you got Uncle Shay talking to Ocho, you know what I mean, about how he'd give it up to Megan Thee Stallion. I don't know. I mean, I don't watch all their shows. I didn't even know they had a podcast together. I thought it was just Shannon Sharp's show. Now I guess they got a show together, right? I'm gonna put this money back. Cause that's show money, son. Anyway, they talking about he trying to hook him up, fake allegedly, like, yo, let me reach out to other people. And anyway, Shannon is like, listen, bro, I'm on them diamonds, like diamonds are forever. He on them diamonds, and I'm assuming he's talking about you know what I mean, the jump offs, you know what I mean, challenge. And he a little older, and he got some liquid juice. He just being funny, pretty much. You know, I'm gonna have her stretched out, and I'm gonna rock her out. And I'm gonna say this because Cam and Mace also, you know, they jumped into the sports, threw their hat into the jump off. And I like their podcast. They show you know this it is what it is. And Cam was recently coming out about you know, a train that they ran on some chick, him and Mace, and that's you, Kareem Akbar. Like, even if you never wanted this story to be told on our platform, I'm going to talk about how I was getting, I mean, hitting shorty from the back, you was getting sucked off, then it was my turn, you know what I mean, he looking at her like, yo, you ain't sucked me off like you sucked him off, implying that he was watching the skills. And you know, Scorpios, we the best. No, really, we are the best. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Of course, I could get on here and start talking about all type of escapades and my porn days and all that, whether you wanted to hear or not. Everything ain't for public consumption. And you hustling for your first name and not your last name. Because your kids got to hear about how you was getting your dick sucked and Mace was getting his dick sucked, how y'all was spinning shorty around and he making comments about how she doing you better than she was doing him. A little uncomfortable for some people in the comments. People was like, damn, that's kind of harsh on the ears. And like the Friends episode with Phoebe, my eyes, your ears. You say, damn, do I really have to hear this shit about how y'all was running a train on somebody? And then the climate that we living at. You know what I mean? We live, we unscripted. You hear the car going off in the background. That's how I go when you live and you unscripted. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. And do we really got to hear about your sexual escapades? Now, some people want to hear it. I just told y'all in the last live, go look at the other video that I did, how I just got put up on to the Black Mirror, you know, series and shit. And one of the first episodes that I watched, it was the Prime Minister of England or whatever, London. Somebody kidnapped the prominent, you know, person's niece, daughter, or whatever, fake like they was going to, you know, kill her, cut her finger off, and they was going to let her go unscathed as long as the Prime Minister had sex with a pig. Live on camera, like y'all watching me now, live, we rolling, we unscripted. He had to go clap some cheeks of a fucking pig. And, you know, they try to gauge the audience, because you as the audience, some people was like, nah, I ain't gonna watch that shit. You know what I mean? I can't see some grown-ass man fucking a pig. What? Like, and then some people was tuned in. And I like that part about the show. We talking about Black Mirror, but we also talking about Cam and Mace running the train. We talking about Shannon Sharp, talking about how he'd take Megan Thee Stallion to Pound Town and he know her booty hole brown. I'm being funny, but I'm not. You know what I mean? And so in the episode, for those that did watch, the Prime Minister clapping the cheeks. Chrissy, what's the word? You know what I mean? Shout out to my homegirl Chrissy on the check-in. Appreciate you. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share the video. Some people that was watching, they was covering their eyes, fake like they didn't want to see the nigga clapping the pig. Know what I mean? With the facial expression. Just imagine that though. Like, it's all type of porn categories for those that, and we might be getting a little off, but this is my show. I'm unscripted. I do what I want over here, and that's why you fuck with me or you don't. He had to fuck the pig. Some people said, I'm not even gonna watch. This is deplorable. This is disgusting. Some people had that same sentiments, yet they still was watching like this. Yet they still was watching to see if he was gonna go through with it. So my point is, people only, when they talk about shit like this, getting blown off in front of your man and your man watching and y'all spinning it back and forth, that only can get light and energy and gain some traction because motherfuckers want to hear about it. Do you really want to hear about Cam and Mace? How back in their heyday when they was Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen of the rap game, and any girls would love to just get on their knees, mouths wide open, eyes closed, begging them to skeet. Do you really want to hear about the glory days? Some people do. They want to hear about it. They want to know the side. They want to know how long. Like, the dig is long, but my time is short. Baby, I can't give you the details. And so that's why you hear on Popovich TV, although I say Scorpios, we the best. And I'll be dead serious when I say that. There's other signs. Capricorns, Virgos, you know what I mean? Like, it's freaky signs. And I'm sure a lot of us are, you know, pat yourself on the back when you in that element and say, oh, nah, in the bedroom, I give it up. But you're not going to hear me going into explicit details. Who the fuck is you to know about, you know what I mean, the backstroke and left stroke, and the death stroke was the best stroke, tongue all down the throat. That's the B.I.G. reference. Who the fuck is y'all for me to get up here and, you know what I mean, and tell you, you know what I mean, how I'm coming and all that. That's not for your consumption. I'm going to be like, yeah, I'm a freak and leave it at that, and you can draw the picture if you want. But when you jump on Shannon Sharp and you talking to O'Shea, barbershop talk, gym talk, while you bench pressing 250 pounds, can Megan Stallion get it from the back? Of course. You know what Fabulous said? Damn, shorty could get it. No, you can get it. Men talk like that all the time. And ladies, I think I already spoke about this. Quiet as kept. If you didn't know, and now you know. Most men can fuck a watermelon, you put it in the wall. You know what I mean? You open up an orange, put a hole in it. It's no real standard, especially if you're not really used to getting no Bunningtons. What did I just say? Like, especially if you're not used. That's why the status be low. Women be surprised. Or you hear like, yo, she got it tight. And most women do be having it tight. And maybe that's why you get mad when you think yourself as a 7, 8, 9, 10 Kelly Rowland. Like you rolling with some light-skinned girls and some Kelly Rowlands. You think you a 10, and I'm not knocking it. You think you a 10, and you a 10. You a 10, you going in, you a 10, bitch, fine. Put the crown on. But you be like, damn, how the fuck my husband, my baby father, my, you know what I mean, like my boyfriend, my significant other, go fuck a 5. Go fuck a 3. Go fuck a 2. You know what I mean? Like, put you on a nigga news, UPN and 11. He fucked a 7, and I'm a dime. You wondering, and it's breaking your spirit. Like, damn, how is that possible? Most men just don't really have no standards. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a hole, it's a hole. It's not really that serious. I know that's shocking, but it is what it is. And then when you think of a Megan Thee Stallion, when you think of her songs, why are you so outraged, ladies? Why was the, you know, the uprising and the vitriol, you know, towards Shannon? Because he's a heterosexual guy having a conversation with another heterosexual guy, talking about who they gonna smash and bend up like a pretzel. You'd be surprised what women say, you know, to the guys that they want to do these things to them, how they, you know what I mean, express themselves. And if you don't know, then you don't know. If you got any woman, you know, if you got any cousins that's women, any sisters, any little, you know what I mean, like, they gonna tell you. It's all over the internet. Listen, the Joe Budden shit, right? I forget, I'm not sure what network he on, but I know it's 2 girls, 2 light-skinned girls. One got like the short hair and shit. She got her own podcast. I can't think of it. And it's the other Spanish-looking girl. I think she always be drinking the wine. But anyway, they got a show that's fucking explicit, out of this world. So the little chunky one, the thicker one, you know what I mean? She a little chubby. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I ain't knocking her. She talking about how she was in Mexico by herself, I guess, if I recall the story right. Seen a married couple. I don't know how she knew they was married on some Dexter shit. Except this shit is Enrico Suave, so this nigga's Ricky Ricardo. You know what I mean? On some Ricky Ricardo. Swinging, you know what I mean? Just swinging it. Chilling with his wife. She like, real promiscuous. Go to the bar, they acting like, you know, the pool bars, where you, the pool, the bars by the pool and shit. Go get, I think, 3 shots, or 6 shots. 2 for each. I think it was 1 for each. Pulls up on them, give them the shots, they take the shots. Long story short, she telling a story how they back in their bungalow or back in their hotel room, in the shower together. Wife gets her, you know what I mean, slob down her husband, you know what I mean, fellatios all crazy. And how they end up having a real nice time sexually, and even gave him, the husband, the Skins, raw dog. Nobody clamors about that. Nobody says, God damn. That was mad explicit. Why we needed to know? I mean, some people in the comments was like, damn, you's a hoe. That girl's a hoe. Like, I mean, I'm being funny, but I'm not. But it's like, you know what I mean? This is her story. These are her exact words. She went, got the shots, was all giddy, was all happy. He was a nice distance, you know what I mean? She was happy to give him fellatio and the shower, water pouring down. Real explicit, real like some real out of some, you know, what's them forums, magazines. And I used to, you know what I mean? It's a good story. You can get a good story out of there. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay. Angela Yee, who I met a few times, y'all know the story. She got to show lip service. Well, her hosts and her, you know, the women that she bring up there, she can't wait to ask them, you know what I mean, how long they been on the BBC carousel, how long they been riding the hot dogs, you know what I mean? How many men they been with, what's their favorite position, how they give it up sloppy toppy. Angela Lee stay asking the ladies the question. And they have no problem telling their sexual escapades. You had Megan Thee Stallion just recently say, you know, I'm going to be stingy with the coochie now. I'm tired of being I'm for the streets. Obviously, she was playing and she was trolling, if you ask me. She was laughing. In this evil world out here, she ain't giving up no motherfucking streets. She's single now. She can do what she want. You know what I'm saying? And that's her business. But, you know, it's no difference than when The Rock was like, he going to name his dog Megan. And they was like, why you going to make it that? And he was sitting on the lap. These people in Hollywood, they want her. Or, you know what I mean? Or they heard about her. She's single, they single. Even if they're not single, we know weirder shit than go on in Hollywood than most of y'all can stomach. You know what I'm saying? So let's not act like, you know what I mean, these are the things that don't go on. She with the shits. Don't feel sorry for her. You ain't got a captain save for her. She gonna come out of her own way. I just thought it was like, damn, niggas really gonna try to cancel Uncle Shay because he said he would knock Megan Thee Stallion out and he on a couple of diamonds to make sure his performance is challenge. Like that nigga gonna make sure. Challenge. You know, he a little older now, 51 and all that. And some of the ladies like, oh, he an old man. Try to shame him. Obviously, he looked like he is still in good tip-top shape. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, he got a couple dollars. He big fish. A lot of y'all would love to be fucking with Uncle O'Shea. You know what I mean? A lot of y'all love to be in that position. You're just mad that he ain't really mentioning your name and he ain't got no diamond packs for you. That's what it just really sounds like to me. You know what I'm saying? That's what it really sounds like to me. Gabrielle Union out here talking about, you know what I mean? She like eating booty like groceries. So it ain't really no double stance on that. I mean, does it sound a little, you know, sting in your ear when it's a lady as opposed to a man? Maybe. But what I will say to Cam and O'Shea, they got their own platforms. They building anybody that's trying to build up your platform in the current climate that we at now. Me Too and, you know, sexual stuff going on and deviance and people could go back 30 years, 20 years. You got to be careful because just like that, everything you work hard for, somebody could come out and say, you know, that was me they was talking about in the video. And I felt uncomfortable because they were super mega stars and I felt compelled by the energy to go do it. And, you know, I didn't come forward because, you know, I felt some type of way. That's all it really takes. They named ain't gonna be you know, divulged to the public. They're gonna be a anonymous person. Yet you gonna be on blast. Yet people gonna be looking at you like, damn, well, Mason Cameron, them niggas was really, you know, Mason Becta. And I'm carrying on, we're gonna rise to the top. Like when you was rising to the top, bowling these joints in the back rooms and the studios and all that, somebody come out nowadays and say, yo, I think y'all is got me. And this is what it is, and y'all gotta pay now. It would be like, damn, why these niggas come out and even say anything? Some things is just better left unsaid. And if you are gonna say it, change the names and locations like they do with the books and the movies to protect the innocent and the guilty. For people that ain't been, you know what I mean, found guilty of crimes. Why would you come on like, yeah, XYZ did XYZ, and you know what I mean? It's like, nah, change the name, change, you know what I mean? Change the coat color, change the race, or make it, you know what I mean? So the person don't get jammed up. Unless you're trying to jam somebody up, more likely jam yourself up. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to end up just jamming yourself up, telling on yourself. And Tony, there was no other way. You're telling on yourself. You gotta be careful with that. I ain't really got too much for y'all as far as that. Let's get to this last shit real quick. Double standards. We on some women shit. We gonna be a quick show. I'm gonna give y'all the picks. Sunday, fun day, NFL week 13, and then we out of here. But it was another story in the news on actually two other things. It was a story in the news about a woman. She happened to be white on the beach. I'm not sure what beach she was at. Battery about to die. Let me fix this real quick. She was on the beach, self-pleasuring herself. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who's seen her. You know what I mean? You know, I don't shout outs to Tommy Gibbs. I don't know who's seen her. Somebody's seen her, and you know, it's always these little camera phone devices all around now. The black mirror is always around. It's always an eye in the sky somewhere. She was stressed out, woo, and got one off, you know what I mean, in the water that she was sitting in. And they arrested her for it. Some people like, yo, she was stressed. She was just getting off. Now I get it. She had the vibrator, you know, inside the bathing suit. So nobody could really see nothing, but obviously somebody did see something. And as opposed to, you know, some women are like, let her be, you know, it's really not that serious. How kids know what she was doing anyway. What kids know what a vibrator looked like, etc. Excuses, excuses, excuses. Blah, 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 blah. If it was a man, you know what I mean, doing that, obviously our organs are, you know, external. So it's like, you know what I mean, outwardly. So, you know, you would get to see what's going on, but it still doesn't make any difference. Save those activities and whatever you're doing for fans only, or, you know, whatever you're doing. Save that shit for the crib. Everybody don't need to know everything about you. Every little explicit detail, especially when it comes to sex. Only for you to change your mind, and now you're going to be stingy with the coochie, and you wish you never made a fans only page, and woo, and you came to your senses, and you realize a woman's worth. You know what I mean? Like, Alicia, you know what I mean? Alicia Keys, you know what I mean? You realize that that's not where you should have been putting your energy and your eggs in the basket on some sexual deviant shit. But nonetheless, they locked their ass up as they should. And if it was a man, they would have locked them up too, as they should. Certain things is going to be, you know, double standards in men favor and women favor. But certain things should be cut and dry. We all want equality, right? I mean, that's what the whole movement was for. You want the same rights and you wanted to be able to do what I can do. Well, if I get caught masturbating on the beach, in the public beach, they locking my ass up. I'm going to have to register as a sex offender and all this other shit. Then you should too. Ladies, how you gonna be on our, you know, now if it was even if it was she wasn't masturbating, but you know, on some shit where you know, you got your partner, they give you the device and they controlling it, and y'all having a little fun night and all this other stuff, you know, that can be fun. And again, you know, everything ain't for everybody, but obviously these is you know, festivities that some people choose to partake in. Little vibration action. I'm gonna control this shit while we at dinner, while we at the movies and all that. You know what I'm saying? Scorpios, we the best. But you don't need all of the details, but nonetheless, whether her boyfriend, husband was doing it, she got caught and they locked her ass. So let's get to this last shit before we get to the picks. I don't really have a lot to say on this except it's no manuscript on parenting. Like, now, I mean, like Big said, you know what I mean? I've been in this game for years. It made me an animal. It's rules to the shit. I wrote me a manual, step-by-step booklet for you to get your shit on track, not your wig pushed back. You know what I mean? Like, whether it's your first child, second child, now obviously if you have some experience in this area, you probably will get better. You change the diapers a little faster and swifter. You learn little techniques and, as they say nowadays, child rearing hacks, life hacks. T.I., the king, you know what I mean? Shouts to the ATL. They got a monstrous game going on tomorrow. You know what I mean? Alabama and the Georgia Bulldogs fighting for the, you know, the championship, and we're gonna see who wins that game. Should be a good game tomorrow. Definitely looking forward to that. So shout outs to the ATL. ATL has some promoters too. This side note, like, and it's all for sale. That's why I plainly say that on my show. And it's all for sale. People will sell you they fucking socks. Chicks will wear their panties for 2 weeks, sell it to a motherfucker that's willing to buy. Like anything that you can think of, a motherfucker will buy it and it's for sale. And you know what I mean? Like if you got it, you love it, we got it for you. They was allegedly maybe kind of sort of promoting the party that T.I. and his son Lil King was supposed to be promoting there after this whole blow up that they had. And the whole I stand on business. And we know what Shannon Sharp said. The quote Shannon Sharp when he was talking about John Morant. And he like, bro, that's not who you are. You're not hard. You're not hard and that's not your life. And I never understood. I mean, I guess I can understand it somewhat. The outside pressures, you know, the need to be accepted by people that come from a certain area, that come from a certain cloth. You want to be embraced. You want to be accepted. So even though you come from a good home, you come from a good family, you come from, dare I say, a gated community, which is nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with your folks before you doing better than they folks, and then you doing better than your folks, and my seeds grow with his seeds, marry his seeds. That's how we keep take money all up in the family. You keep it tight knit, and you move forward, and you pave the way. Like, you know what I mean? If you grew up to be a doctor, then your nephews will grow up to be the same. But since you grew up from the game and your influence is the same, and your therapy is music, they ask, are you ashamed? It's a whole reference. You know what I mean? And he said, no, I'm not ashamed. That's why when I walk in the hallway with mirrors on both sides, I could be so satisfied when I look myself in the eyes. No shame. No, sir. I'm happy with who I see. I'm happy with the man that I've become and where I think that I'm going. All praise is due to the Most High. But we know that in certain instances where we see, you know, successful, you know, people, they have parents. Hip-hop kids nowadays, like hip-hop been around so long, we can see a king. We can see a, you know what I mean, you know, I can't even think of his name right now, damn, you know what I mean? But various kids of hip-hop, you know what I'm saying? Good and bad, the microscope is on them. If you grew up in Hollywood. And some people in the comments, you know, when he was like stand on business, they're like, he got the demeanor of a fiend, of like a hag. It's the way he was acting. And I'm like, damn, doggy, who are you standing on business for? And that's not to say he not hard, you know what I mean? Or he ain't gonna give it up. He don't got that dog background in him. Or I don't know his spirit. What I know is I seen you arguing with the people in the Waffle House. You was arguing with them girls, and you was displaying immature behavior. I see you keep fumbling. It seems like embarrassing yourself. Or as in T, I say, yo, bro, you embarrassing yourself. And you're not hustling for your first name, you should be hustling for your last name. Because if some smear or some smuck gets on you, it affects the people in your family. Your grandmother got to hear about it. Your mom's got to hear about it. Your sister, your nieces, your nephews, your father. You know what I mean? Or whoever it is. Because like, damn, you staining us because you're not only just representing you. That's why when you go out of your house, you know, if you're from the era that I'm from, you know what I mean? Or even now, you should be still same parenting applies. Wear clean drawers. Make sure your underclothes is clean. In case you get hit by a bus. And you shit on yourself. And none of that shit gonna matter anyway, mommy. But I love you for like, just the fact like, no, when you go out, make sure your hair is combed. Make sure you ain't got that shit in your eye. You coming looking like you come from a family that don't give a fuck about you. When we busting our ass and doing everything to make sure that you get what we don't got. And good times, anytime, and baby, like good times, like, you know what I mean? Like we gonna make sure that you got it even though we going without. Keeping your head above water. And for the people that make it on some black-ish shit, who are you to be disrespecting your father and, you know, showing out and standing on business? Like, you know, that's where some parents be like, listen, I brought you in this world, I will take you the fuck out. And allegedly maybe kind of saw that he put his hands on him, right? Showed him what's what. And you ain't gonna start smelling yourself and think you're gonna just be talking any way to me. The highway's that way. You can go that way because this is my house. And you don't dictate what's going on in here. You know what I mean? Lady DJ, what's the word? Like you don't dictate. Little man, girl, boy, I don't care who you are. You living with your parents. And this is another thing, right, too. Because they say, you know, in this society, in these recent years, you know, they quick to kick the boys out. Like you go figure it out. Go be a man. And the woman is, you know, the girl is, you know, usually can stay. Daddy want to make sure, especially if she's not married and she ain't under no covenant. You know what I mean? She ain't under no protection. So the father is that's who maintains that. And as the Most High says in the good book, and this today is Friday, the men, not the males, not the boys, the men are the maintainers and protectors of the woman. And this is just basic regular shit that you know what I mean, that most subscribe to. If you stand on any type of principle, if you stand on any moral fabric, and you built a certain type of cloth with any type of backbone, that's just is what it is, right? The boys, though, they tend to, you know, you get out faster and you got to make it on your own. And you say for somebody like him, off the name alone, you should be able to make it happen and get some money, generate some revenue. Wanted to be a rapper, but it ain't paying out for you like T.I. You're not as talented as him. T.I. in top 10, top 15 for a lot of people. If you in the South or you in that ATL area, some of y'all got him in the top 5, dead or alive, and that's just off one LP. And I won't have that much argument with you, except I'm going to give some pushback. I don't got him in my top 5, but I understand why he may be in top 10, definitely top 15. And again, no disrespect to T.I. His lyrical ability, his flow, flawless. You know what I mean? Definitely got some classics under his belt, and niggas don't want to do a verses with him. That's why we probably ain't see it yet. But his son is out of line. You're making the family look bad, and, you know, when does it stop? When does reality set in? Do you got to disown, pull a 50 Cent, pull a, like, you know what I mean? Totally just separate you from what it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. His story is not over. His chapter is not over. We'll see how he going to come out, and he going to come out in his own way. But you know what it is. Friday, Sunday fun day is quickly upon us. Some big games, like I said again, Saturday, tomorrow. College, we don't really get into that. Let's get into week 13, picks against the spread. Last week, week 12, when we gave the locks out, not from Yonkers, we gave out all 6 locks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like LeBron James told y'all, $100 on a 6 picks is what? 48-41. Yeah, kid, that feeling. And we're going to cook up some more games. You know what I'm saying? Don't bet over your head. Make sure you know what you're doing. Tune in to people like me. Try to get as much information on the games that you're going to bet on as possible. Let's get into it. I'm not really sure the record for the season. I have to look at it. Maybe I'll put it in the description. Who knows? Let's get right to it. CBS. Oh, games is fucking close. Oh, shit. Games is fucking close. Looking at today's games, by the way. Anyway, Sunday fun day. First game, LA Chargers at New England Patriots. Patriots, home dog, getting 5.5. Chargers, they keep losing close games. We don't know if they're gonna fire the coach or not. Justin Herbert, look, you know, like top elite quarterback play. Then he don't. Got paid all of that money. Or to have a 4-7 record, probably not going to make the playoffs. Although I do think they win this game. I mean, New England just been a shit show. It's been a dumpster fire sale. They ain't been winning nothing. I don't think they're going to win this game, but I do think they cover that 5.5 spread. I like the Chargers to win. I like New England with the 5.5. Next game, Detroit. Detroit sitting at the top of the mountain, or at least one of the teams at the top of the mountain in the NFC. Everybody all looking up to the Eagles. Eagles fly. Eagles fly. Eagles got a good game this week coming up, obviously, on Sunday against the 49ers. Detroit, road favorites, -4. New Orleans Saints. Who that? Who that? Who that said they going to beat them Saints? Who that? They've been getting beat. They can win, jump back to 6-6, 500 record. Are they going to win? I don't know what's going on. It's a lot going on with the New Orleans Saints. Derek Carr's the starter. He's not the starter. Jameis Winston, you putting him in, you're not putting him in. Jason Tatum, Jason Hill, the go-go gadget man. I really don't know with this team, so I'm just going to pretty much just go with Detroit Lions minus the 4. I think this is a bounce back. They lost last week, if I'm not mistaken, right? They lost to they lost to the Packers. It was a bad loss. Everybody think the Packers playing well. I don't. I like Detroit minus the 4. Next game, Atlanta Falcons, Dirty Birds at New York Jets. 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 Jets minus 2. They home dogs. Over and under 33.5. Hearing whispers, hearing talks about Aaron Rodgers coming back. They opened up the window for him. You know what I mean? He might be playing soon. I don't think he's going to play. I don't think he should play behind that offensive line, especially coming off, allegedly, people still with the speculation, Achilles heel, injury or whatever he had. With that being said, I like the Jets at home. Atlanta, they 5-6. They pretty much just up and down team, middle of the pack, not even 500. They can get to 500, but we know they play their best ball or got most of their wins at home. And obviously on the road, they're a little suspect. They're a little shaky, a little nervous, a little shaky, a little nervous. So for that reason and that reason alone, we're going to take the Jets, even though the Jets got a worse record than them. But we're going with the Jets. I think they can win straight up. Next game, Pittsburgh Steelers, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. At home, giving up 6.5. It was 5.5 the last time I checked. Playing against the Arizona Cardinals, Kyler Murray. This is like his 3rd game back. Trying to see if he's going to be there next year, long term. Are they going to put a package deal together, send him somewhere, get a new quarterback, get some draft picks, fill some holes that need to be filled on their team? Because to me, they're just a bad team. They L Trashington. Sprinkle some dirt on them. I like Pittsburgh minus the 6. This was the Super Bowl a couple years ago. It's Kurt Warner. I think Ben Roethlisberger. This was the San Antonio Holmes back of the end zone catch, spectacular catch. And Mike Tomlin, I think Mike Tomlin got his first Super Bowl. Or was that the other dude, Bill Cowher? I can't remember who was the coach. Anyway, I like Pittsburgh minus the 6.5. Next game, Colts 6-5. They are 1 game above 500. On the road, playing against Tennessee. Tennessee +1. Tennessee, the season is pretty much over. I think they played already. Tennessee lost at the Colts. So for that reason alone, no Jonathan Taylor, even though the Colts did play with him a little bit early in the season while he was, dealing with injury, although it was back and forth about his contract, negotiations, etc. I like Tennessee at home. I'm not really caught up on the Mike Vrabel, underdog narrative. They pretty much kind of like even teams. There's 2 games better in the win column, but that's it. You beat us 23-16. I think they could get back. That's when Tannehill was quarterbacking. I like Willis Will Levy or Willis Levy, whatever his name is. I think they can pull an upset, being how they are 1-point underdogs at home. Next game, Miami at the Washington Commanders. Miami giving 9.5. Last week they was giving 9.5 to the Jets. We had Miami last week. This week, I don't think Miami, I think they will win the game. I don't think they're going to cover the 9.5. Back-to-back on the road, 2 East Coast teams. They're saying 2 of them win under 40-degree weather. Pulled it out last week. It looked like the Jets was going to stay close, but then it really wasn't close as the Jets kind of made it seem. I think the Washington are a little better than the Jets, even though they got 1 more loss than the Jets. And also, I think Bieniemy is used to playing with, playing against Miami. He was on the AFC for whatever that's worth. Ron Rivera, they fired the coach and all that, or some of the on-staffers that's inside the coaching staff. That's not going to mean nothing. Some people got them as packing their bags and they going to Cancun, but I like Miami to win because they do need to win to stay afloat with the Baltimores and the Kansas Cities and the top of the AFC. But I got Washington covering that 9.5. Next game, this should be a good game right here. Denver Broncos, 5 straight games. Houston, definitely a surprise with C.J. Strauss looking like the best around. And nothing's ever gonna, like, C.J. Strauss definitely balling. He's balling out of control, but Denver looked good as of late. Russ is starting to cook. Defense is playing well. And Sean Payton got them buying into the system, if nothing else. They believe that they can win some of these games. I think the feel-good story kind of pulls back a little bit. A lot of people got Denver. I got C.J. Strauss. I think he's playing a better ball than Russ. I think the atmosphere of Houston, they saying their game's not being sold out. The coach, DeMarco, and all that. I just think Houston got the slight edge. 3 might be much to cover. Take a money line, but I do like Houston to cover. Next game, Tampa Bay. You know what I mean? Baker Mayfield woke up feeling dangerous against the number 1, draft pick, and Bryce Young, 1-10, not looking good. Season not looking good. They fired their coach. The owner's like, listen, we in the results business. You either produce, challenge, or you out of here. And right, you know what I'm gonna say. Do you ever think about when you out of here? Your record deal, video out of here, Mercedes-Benz, Range Rover, and all that shit out of here. Your NFL career is out of here. I like Tampa Bay to cover and win. They lost to my now, what, 2 in a row now? I don't think they're as bad as they, as their record is. I think they could definitely beat the Panthers. I think they could beat the Panthers. They played the Panthers again last game of the season. I think they could beat the Panthers by 7 points, 6 points to cover the spread. I like Tampa Bay to win and cover. Next game of the week. Like, how about some football? How about this should have been Sunday Night Football? They should have flexed that. Took off Kansas City and Green Bay. They try to paint the narrative that Green Bay playing well and Green Bay's turning it around. They're playing better. They're not turning it around. This should be the game of the day. Sunday Night Football, but it's not. Instead, it's at the 4:25 slot. And that is the San Francisco 49ers at the Philadelphia Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. We will remember what happened last year. Brock Purdy got hurt. We had the Eagles, so, let's be clear. We had the Eagles last year. We won big betting on the Eagles. We didn't know he was going to get hurt. We wasn't wishing it on him. I think this is a get-back spot for the 49ers. A lot of money probably going to be on the 49ers. When you look right now, it says 73% minus the 3, 72% money line. Shout out to my nigga Billy D. Money line. He like, yo, I'm taking them niggas, but I'm taking the money line. And a lot of people probably will take the 49ers money line. I won't be shocked and amazed when you put the beat on that the Eagles is that good and they pull an upset and they win at home. Definitely wouldn't be surprised. But they just played a tough game. They play Dallas coming up. San Francisco going hand into them. They're going to put some wood to that ass, and it's probably going to be a rough, tough football type of game. They 10-1. They sitting comfortable. It's just a rough, tough, schedule for them at this part of their scheduling, and I don't see them winning. I think 49ers coming in and say, listen, if we didn't get hurt last year, we would have beat y'all. Plus, we need to beat y'all in case this tiebreaker shit, rear its ugly head down the line, week 17, week 18. So I got San Francisco winning this game. Next game, Cleveland. Cleveland rocks. Cleveland rocks. Cleveland. This is for you. We got Joe Flacco stepping in. We know they lost they started quarterback Deshaun Watson, shoulder surgery. What's the other guy? THC or TDS or whatever his name is. No disrespect intended. But they lost their last 2 games. I think they could come in here and keep it close. So they lost their last game to the Broncos. The Rams, same kind of team as the Broncos. Good defense, borderline. Sean McVay, the kid, the boy wonder. Obviously, they got their Super Bowl, 2 years ago or whenever it was. I think the Rams can win, But I don't think they win. I think Cleveland going there and pull an upset. I definitely like Cleveland with the 4. I think the defense, even though they facing a little bit of injuries, I think Joe Flacco can manage the game. I think they will run the ball well, and I think they can pull out the upset or definitely win by the 4-point spread. So I like Cleveland. Cleveland rocks. Cleveland rocks. Last game on Sunday. Sunday Night Football, Kansas City Chiefs at the Green Bay Packers. Like I just said, they trying to paint this narrative. They keep pushing this narrative. Green Bay turned the page. Green Bay's playing well. Jordan Love, he has looked better. Green Bay Packers has played better. They on a 2-game win streak. Tiki, my nigga, what's the word? Happy Friday. Cheers. You know what I mean? The weekend is here. Just got paid. We're going to try to keep this train rolling. Last week, we went 6 for 6. Yeah, kid. $100 on a 6-pick. Y'all know what it is. 48-41. $4,800 and 41, you know what I mean? Yeah, that part. Anyway, I think Kansas City win and cover. I think Kansas City go into Green Bay, put that, man-to-man defense on them. Patrick Mahomes come in there, give them some NyQuil, a.k.a. Night, get them up out of there. Kansas City need to win this game. They need to win bad as a motherfucker. Baltimore, Miami, all the front-running teams that's in the AFC. Even Pittsburgh is 7-4. You lose, now you 8-4. Pittsburgh, if they win, even if they don't cover, they 8-4. You got to be really, really careful on this AFC. Buffalo Bills would be only 2 games behind, even though we know they haven't been looking good. Cleveland, if they pull an upset, they're going to be 4. They're going to be 8-4. So Jacksonville, they 8-3. They probably are going to win this week against Cincinnati. And let's talk about that game now. Monday Night Football. Cincinnati Bengals getting 8.5. They at, Jacksonville, Jaguars. I got Jacksonville to win. I got Cincinnati Bengals pull an upset. No Joe Burrow. They've been without him for a little while. Obviously, he's going for the season. I think the backup now with some reps under his belt with the defense, knowing what they got to do, you either win or your season is over as well. Do you ever think about when you out of here, your record deal, video, Mercedes-Benz, and your NFL season out of here? You're done. So we like Cincinnati for Monday. We like Jacksonville to cover the game. Let's get to the locks now. Not the locks from Yonkers, but the locks that get you and me the winner chicken dinners. Like I said, I'm not saying we're going 6 for 6 again this week. I hope we go 6 for 6. Last week we did go for 6 for 6, and it's not the first time during these 13 weeks that I've been giving out the picks. We gave out winners, and all of the winners, I believe, 3 times, had 2 pushes, and we went 4-2 a few times. We've been winning. We only had, I think, 3 weeks where we just lost money. So hopefully we can keep the train rolling. So here go the locks. Not from Yonkers, but the locks that get us the winner chicken dinners. Here they go. Detroit. I love Detroit. Bounce back game. Detroit over New Orleans. Tennessee over the Colts. Colts beat them already. This is the week that they get back. This is the revenge game. Tennessee Colts. Tennessee Colts. Tennessee over the Colts. Houston. Y'all better start showing up to them games. Y'all got a real one out there. C.J. Strauss. He really that deal. I know Russ and them been looking good. Russ been cooking. But this the feel-good story ends this week. I got Houston winning. Next game. Baker Mayfield back at home. They've been playing some tough competition when you go back and you look at their schedule. Playing against the lowly Carolina Panthers. Firing your coach could give you some energy, but I don't think so here. I think Baker Mayfield and the wide receivers wake up, feel dangerous. I think they win this game by at least 10 points. Next game of the week. San Francisco 49ers over the Eagles. I know the public is on San Fran hard, but I like San Fran. This is the revenge game. This is the game to say you beat up on us last year only because we wasn't at full strength. Now, challenge. Let's see if you can do it. Last and final, I got Kansas City Sunday Night Football beating the Green Bay Packers by a touchdown. I don't think the Green Bay Packers got nothing, nothing for them. So that's Detroit, Tennessee, Houston, Tampa Bay, San Fran, Kansas City. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. $100 on that is what? It's 48.41. Yeah, kid. Y'all know what it is. It's your guy, Popovich. Y'all was just tuned in. Popovich TV. We live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic. That feeling back up in here one more again. Yeah, kid.